You want to go? You want to do this go?
I don't think so. I wouldn't be able to.
What's up, and welcome to Bucked Up, Possibly Entertainment's post-game Bucks podcast. The day after every game, me and John come to you and give you the analysis you weren't asking for, and nobody's really talking about. I'm Nick Schneider. That's John Monk. If you don't like watching your podcast, we're available on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Audio Boom, even though nobody cares about Audio Boom, and Pocket Cast. John, we just watched the Bucks trounce the Hawks, wire to wire. What are your thoughts of that game?
Great win. Very laid back.
Yeah.
Very comfortable Sunday win.
Yeah, it almost seemed a little bit like second string versus first string in varsity high school practice.
Yep, yeah, JV team versus varsity.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful Sunday evening game
Yeah.
for a Bucks fan.
Just kind of relaxed, laid back. Didn't have to worry about anything.
No,
Weren't super stressed about anything.
Beginning of the game, I was up on the edge of my seat, and after the first couple minutes, I was laid back.
Just lounging.
Yeah.
And part of that was all the food we ate, too.
Yeah, great meal.
Yeah.
But no, I think Giannis again dominated whenever he was in. Middleton had a great second half.
That's the big story, is the disparity between, I think, the people who are going to be back on the Chris Middleton bandwagon, the Chris Middleton's back bandwagon, but I do think there's lingering issues that
Still
we need to talk
much,
about.
especially in the first half.
Absolutely. What else? What else were your takeaways?
Well, the Hawks are a bad team, which I didn't know that they're this bad.
Yeah, you would imagine, because they've always
been a playoff team.
Worse than their record.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
But they've always been a high playoff team, high seed playoff team.
Absolutely.
And now they're 1-6?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I did not know they were this
They're
bad.
terrible. But when you think about it, what talent do they have? But
have
they ever really had talent is the other question. Paul Millsap's been great.
Yeah.
Korver was great.
Horford back in the day.
Horford, yeah, sure. But they've always achieved more than their talent. And I think a lot of that was because of coaching, scheming. A lot of people call them the Spurs of the East. And I think that's a fair assessment usually. But holy mackerel, were they tough to watch today.
Yeah.
Like really bad.
Yeah.
And I think everyone knew the Hawks were going to be bad. But the real story is, so far this season, is how much better the awful teams in the East everyone thought were going to be awful they've been much better than usual. Obviously, the Hawks have been terrible. Bulls have been bad. Nets, though, look okay.
Yeah.
Magic.
Oh, they're coming out of nowhere, yeah.
Magic.
Early.
John Hammond working is magic on the Magic.
Good. I like that.
Magic.
In Orlando. Florida.
We should almost email that to Jim Paschke and let him know to use that whenever we go to Orlando. John Hammond working his magic in Orlando. Where were we?
I don't know.
Anyway, big takeaways for this game. It was kind of a lazy game, but maybe Chris Middleton found himself again. I know we said that the last couple of podcasts because he played well in the second halves.
Against the Hawks, it's hard to take a lot away. But
exactly.
No, he shot very well in the second half. But yeah, again in the first half, rushing shots. But Jason Kidd said it was an A for effort today.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't think we had to even really give an A for effort.
There was a lack of effort because there wasn't any effort.
We got big game Tuesday, so we have to.
Huge, right. That's what this game is kind of nice to get into your groove before a huge game on Tuesday against the Thunder.
Yep.
That is a big deal. If we can somehow pull that game, and I think that game is on NBA TV. So
I think it is, actually.
Technically a nationally televised game.
Yep.
That's a big deal, man. That's a real big deal. So, go over the team. Who statistically, what is the word? Extruded to you? Who stood out? Giannis, obviously. What was Giannis' final stat line?
He 33 points again. I think he had 12 boards. Yep. So it's here 11 boards.
I want to say he ended with 12. I think that might have been wrong on the part of NBAstats.com. Please direct all your nasty tweets at them.
Shot 14 for 21 again, which is not bad. 1 for 3 from deep.
So. Really put on a show for the 7 fans that were in the Hawks.
Yeah, it looked like a near sellout there in Atlanta. Middleton had a big half, second half.
Big second half.
He had a near triple-double, 9 assists, 7 boards. So.
No, he played really well in that second half. I was really impressed. It's just the first half and how over-aggressive he is that really bothers me still. But we can talk about that in a bit. Anyone else stick out to you at all? Otherwise, kind of normal stat lines, right?
Yeah, Vaughn had a good first half, too. He was activated.
Yeah.
He had a lot of threes.
That's right. He's
wide
trying to
open.
bring his trade value up to get to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Where he'll actually play.
But I still can't believe the cushions they're giving Thon and Giannis.
Yeah, especially Thon is the really crazy one. And Thon's just not shooting like he should be.
I understand Giannis because if you get up on him, he'll go right around you. But
yeah, no, it makes sense. You pick your poison, but I still don't know what. Well, they don't cover Thon because Thon doesn't shoot.
No,
he has no confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is an interesting development for sure. I think the biggest takeaway from this game though is Chris Middleton still being over aggressive. Still, this has been 3 games that we've harped on him for this in the first half for taking dumb shots early in the shot clock, non-Chris Middleton shots that have just felt weird and annoying, and against a better team would have killed us.
He's still at a plus 26 though, Middleton.
Oh no,
he's
but
still
what
doing...
was everyone else's plus minus? Probably very high.
Oh, Giannis was 8, Thon was 7. They're all in the single digits.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, no one else got double digits or plus minus except Middleton with 26.
That's fascinating.
Which is really weird,
That's really fascinating because, it looks to me like there's serious lacks of offense whenever Chris Middleton's on the floor alone. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, the eye test I trust a lot less than the stats. So.
Well, yeah, stats generally don't lie.
No, they sure don't. How'd Tony Snell play tonight? Because we've been harping on him a lot lately.
Yeah,
Not harping on him, but we've been excited for what he can do.
Yeah, Snell, he had a decent game. 3 points.
Sure, yeah. Vintage Tony Snell.
Actually, no, he did not do too good. 1 for 7 shooting.
Oh, boy. It didn't feel like that
no,
much in the game.
No, I didn't know that.
But probably because we were trouncing them so hard. The best players on your floor is Dennis Schroeder. It's tough,
Yeah, he had a normal game. I think 21.
21 for Schroeder? Yeah, pretty normal. I think he's averaging 22 in this season. So
19 he had.
19, okay. Like I said before the game.
Or no, 21. I'm sorry.
Like I said before the game, he's going to get his points.
Yeah, he'll be.
Wasn't worried about Dennis Schroeder. Wasn't really worried about anyone in this Hawks team, if I'm being totally honest with you. That's a game that last year we probably would have lost just because we would come
on a
out
Sunday
flat
evening.
And we didn't have anyone to carry the load.
That was the one thing I was a little worried about, is that it was a Sunday afternoon game.
We're awful on Sunday afternoons.
It seems to
What
be.
is up with that? Obviously, this year maybe the spell's been broken.
Yeah,
last year you're right. That was a real problem, even in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the game 4 I think it was on that Sunday afternoon. That sucked.
Was even the fans were awful.
Yeah, I know it was a dead game, but
yeah, weird game. But yeah. So anything else to really pull away from the game on the Bucks side of things?
Not really.
Giannis is still having a statistical nightmare of a season.
Scary.
Yeah, Chris Middleton maybe he's back. Malcolm Brogdon is still the second best option on this team.
We're not going to know about Middleton until he puts in a full great game.
Yeah. What I would like to spend more time talking about today, we'll take a little break before we talk about anyone in the Hawks. I want to talk about Eric Bledsoe.
Yes.
And the Greg Monroe injury. And potentially what that means. I'm not saying that it does mean anything. I'm not even saying there's a good chance it means anything. But it is very weird that all of a sudden Greg Monroe has soreness in his calf. And can't play. I had heard reports of an injury before, but I haven't found anything substantial on that.
I saw one tweet. It was a possible 2-week injury.
Possible 2-week injury, which is
wild
for soreness in a calf.
Yeah.
So there are a few possibilities in my mind that I jump to when I hear about something like this.
Yeah.
Greg Monroe obviously hasn't been performing so far this season. He hasn't been awful, but he hasn't been up to his standards so far this season. Yeah,
he's had limited minutes, but still hasn't been.
So maybe something's going on with Kidd or something. Kidd is telling him, hey, you can't play until you're back in game shape or whatever. Or maybe the deal that we're working on right now with the Suns is centered around Moose.
Yeah.
And we can't afford him getting injured and losing out on the trade.
Yeah, that's...
Which I think is very possible, and by very possible, I mean there's about a 5% chance. There's like an 85% chance he's actually injured.
Yeah, he could be just about 2 weeks. But
it's very interesting, the timing of all of this. Very, very interesting, because the only piece that is a real piece that we'd be willing to give up, Greg Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only piece. And so obviously that's the one they would want.
So, yeah.
I still think that the Nuggets can offer way more and need Bledsoe way more. So I don't know. I would imagine that they would be the ones to end up on top in this trade, but you don't know. And if we can get Bledsoe and Chandler for Greg Monroe and Toledovich and Rashad Vaughn and maybe a first, that's an excellent deal. That
I think it is. Yeah.
That is certainly possible. The longer that Eric, I said in the last podcast, which was 2 days ago, 3 days ago by the time you see this, that the longer he sits out, the less leverage they have to get rid of him.
Well, he can't stay there too much longer.
Exactly. At this point, they just need to give him out for anything.
Because I think
the Bucks and the Nuggets know that, and that might be why the Nuggets are pulling maybe Moutier out of the trade or whatever, and that's why that hasn't gone through. That was just a rumor beforehand too. We don't know if that's true that they actually offered Moutier. But I think it's very possible that Monroe is sitting because he's
getting shopped.
Front office is planning on him being gone.
Oh, I could see that. We
can't afford an injury to the player we plan on trading for a real piece like Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah, I could easily see that.
And so that's, that changes the dynamic of this team. And just because I think it's so possible, I think we're one of the two teams that can get him at this point. I don't see the Cavs are reportedly not even in the market for him anymore.
Yeah, that was a quick
Spurs,
stunt.
I think there were some arguments that he might go to the Spurs, but I don't know who they would trade with, what kind of pieces they have to give to the Suns. It is very likely, and by likely I mean there's a 50% chance that the destination he ends up in
MKE
is Milwaukee. And that kind of changes the outlook of the team. So, John, what do you think happens if we pull in an Eric Bledsoe?
I know, that's what I was going to...
Start with Eric Bledsoe.
Well, he's a starting point guard.
Yeah, absolutely. He's an excellent player.
Then you got Malcolm and Deli, so Malcolm would be coming off the bench right away then, right?
You would assume, right? Now, maybe we play a Malcolm Deli 1-2 punch off the bench?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it
because Malcolm was a two-guard in college, is that right? I think he might have played a little both.
Yeah, he's 6'4". He's a big point guard.
He's a big kid, yeah.
But, I don't know. That's Jason Kidd's job, but...
Well, that extra oomph of scoring is huge.
That's what the Bucks would need. We need that other scorer, which Jabari, hopefully but that's way down the road.
Now, what do you think about Tyson Chandler? Before we go into what you think about Tyson Chandler, here's what Adam McGee over Behind the Bucks Pass has to say. His article is headlined, Milwaukee Bucks should be wary of Tyson Chandler and Eric Bledsoe talks. He starts, with the Phoenix Suns reportedly hoping to move Tyson Chandler in an Eric Bledsoe deal, the Milwaukee Bucks should be wary of the veteran's contract if they remain engaged in trade talks. As Eric Bledsoe's future remains unresolved and the trade saga surrounding him continues, Milwaukee Bucks fans are left to wait and wonder about whether their team will act on their reported interest. Although most of the debate from the Milwaukee side is centered around who shouldn't be included in the Bucks offer, leading to a big sigh of relief when Malcolm Brogdon was reported as being off the table, there's also plenty of reason to be wary about what comes back from Phoenix. Adding a player of Eric Bledsoe's caliber should be a win for whichever team ultimately closes the deal, but the Suns certainly have avenues to make interested teams think twice. One such route was highlighted when it was reported by Mark Stein of the New York Times on Friday that the Suns are exploring options that include bundling Tyson Chandler in any outgoing Bledsoe deal. Chandler is a name that holds familiarity for even the NBA's more casual fans. As a former All-Star, Defensive Player of the Year, and even an NBA champion alongside Bucks coach Jason Kidd on the Dallas Mavericks. Elite rebounding and strong defense inside immediately come to mind when you think of Chandler, but it's important for the Bucks and every team with a vested interest in the deal to realize that the big man isn't the player he once was. Can you finish that?
All right, where were you?
I'll finish.
Oh, I just found it.
Not only has Chandler spent a couple years playing away from the NBA's elite with the long-suffering Suns, but while he has done so, Father Time has also continued to catch up on a player who arrived in the NBA straight out of high school way back in 2001. Chandler is not only 35 years old, but between regular season and playoff action, he has now logged over 31,600 NBA minutes at the league's most physical position, too. That places Chandler 18th on the list of the most total minutes among active players, with only Dwight Howard ahead of him as a player who has spent all his career in the center position. And the article goes on to talk about his contract, which is at $13.5 million. And basically his argument is that he doesn't fit very well because we have enough centers who sit in the paint. It'd be another Greg Monroe who can't score as well.
Better rebounder,
better defender, but also old.
That's
someone who's owed $13.5 million next year.
Yeah,
which is a lot of money for someone who is going to play the third center position with Henson playing so well.
Yeah, see how it turns out, but it's something to be careful about, I think, too. But.
Yeah, I the more because at first when they said Tyson Chandler,
I got excited,
right?
Yeah.
Because, but I think I was thinking more of what Tyson Chandler was.
Back the defensive player of the year, the
exactly.
All-Star. Yeah, that's how I remember him too.
Terrific player back in the day.
Mm-hmm. With
grew
Jay
up
Kidd.
With didn't grow up
no,
with, but
Brandon
from the same town as Brandon
Jennings. Yep.
Right.
But he won the finals with Jay Kidd and Terry.
Right. Exactly.
Jet.
And so it excited me at first, but I think Adam brings up a lot of great points.
He does. Yeah. Very good.
We don't want to be stuck with that contract, certainly.
No.
Especially with all the contract problems we already have.
Yeah.
And do we really need another center? We talked about this week 3 about the 3-center issue. I think Leander Wallace also had an article on Behind the Bucks Pass that we talked about. We really don't want to get in too much of this. What center's going to get minutes
rotation.
Tonight? Yeah, it's a mess.
That's always, you don't want to get into that.
Certainly not. We had enough trouble last year when it was only 2.
That's the thing. If we get Bledsoe, we'd have Brogdon and Deli. We'll have 3 point guards too again. So there'd be another.
Right, but at least Brogdon can play the 2 guard. And
yeah,
Bledsoe can play the 2 guard if needed. But then we also have way too many 2 guards.
Yeah, that's kind of a mess.
We really have very few forwards, if you think about it. I guess we never touched on that with the too many 2 guard argument, because we don't.
Jabari, one of our
forwards.
best ones, is out.
Literally the second best one.
Yeah, so he'll be a big help, I think, if he gets back.
And then other than that, I mean, Chris can play the forward, but I mean, I would rather see him as a long 2 guard.
Yeah, I like him there too. But
and so yeah, it's interesting where we're going to go from there, what that does for the team, because obviously it's a positive trade, but what it does for fit and what it does for the future of the team is interesting and something definitely to consider going
forward. Yeah. I like our team where it's at now, but getting a guy like Bledsoe with that scoring capability, and it's a good trade.
Absolutely. Now, the Hawks. Anything that sticks out at all other than the Dennis Schroeder's 21? Anything at all?
Honestly, well,
that Collins looks good. That rookie John Collins looks pretty good, blocking shots, playing well in the paint. I don't think he had a phenomenal game today, but he's played well so far this season.
Well, actually, yeah, that one thing that popped out, Bazemore's plus minus. I think he was the only one with a positive.
Yeah, very possible. Bazemore's a great
+2
player as well. And I think there are pieces there, none of them stars, obviously, but like a Torian Prince is a very good player. Dennis Schroeder's a very good player. Bazemore's obviously a good player. And then I think that Collins is going to develop into a good player. You get a top 4 pick like the Hawks will undoubtedly have this season.
Yeah, they're getting a good pick.
You get your Michael Porter, you get your Bagley, or your Doncic. And I think they're going to be just fine.
Down the stretch, yeah.
And Budenholzer's a phenomenal coach. I'm not worried at all about the Hawks, but it is kind of sad to see them like this now.
Yeah,
considering what they were just recently.
Yeah, I don't remember the Hawks being this bad.
Ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk about the other thing that we pulled from around the web. This isn't crazy, but this is from Chris Marsh.
Yep.
Over at what is the page called? God damn it. Dexerto. This is from Dexerto by Chris Marsh. You can read it over there. The link will be in the description. The NBA franchise Milwaukee Bucks reported to have hired an esports manager as they officially enter the space. Andrew Buck has been hired as the esports manager, is the point of the story. He's the founder of Vault, an organization that currently fields a CSGO, Counter-Strike Global Offensive roster with lifetime earnings of little over $20,000, which you know is okay. So the NBA is getting into esports. Obviously, NBA 2K is a very popular video game. Mm-hmm. Interesting to see the Bucks in it so early. Every year at the Fan Fest, they do the 2K booth where you can play with players and stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So it's interesting to see them, get more involved in this. I don't really have anything more to report. Neither does Chris Marsh over here, but
it's cool.
It's cool. We'll see more when it develops.
Yeah, it's cool. Bucks are getting out there with that.
It sure is, John. So, Thunder game coming up on Tuesday
night, Halloween night.
Halloween night, right? Mm-hmm. Are they giving away a shirt for that?
Or just selling one? I'm sure they're selling one, yeah. Right?
Well, that's pretty cool, I guess.
It's, cool shirt, especially for your Halloween fans out there.
Halloween's great. You don't like Halloween?
I love Halloween, but
What do you mean, you Halloween fans out there? We're Halloween fans.
Well, it's not
very few people love horror movies like you and me do.
Yeah. I don't know.
We were watching Babysitter last night.
Yep.
How far did you get in it before you passed out?
I
While we were working.
about 10 minutes, I would guess.
No way. So you didn't get to the satanic shit or anything like that?
Not that I remember.
Oh, the movie's not very good. I don't recommend anyone watches it. But like, some cool kills and stuff. At one point, there's this lady trapped underneath the basement, and she's got. I was really tired. I think he douses gas in there and lights a firework, and it explodes her. It's great.
That'd have been a good scene, yeah.
Sucks actually. The movie's very bad. But it's a movie.
Give it a go.
We got the Thunder on Tuesday. Any thoughts on them coming to town? Obviously, a really tough opponent.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game. Very good matchup for the Bucks.
Do you think it's a good matchup? I'm worried about the matchup.
No, exciting matchup.
Brogdon on Westbrook. I think Brogdon's a little slow for Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, that's a tough guy. And
Paul George on Chris Middleton. I think that's a decent enough matchup. If they end up putting
well,
Paul George on
I think
Middleton.
George will be more on. Actually, I don't think Melo will be on Giannis at all.
You don't think so?
Well, Melo.
I don't think Melo will guard Giannis. I think Giannis will guard.
Oh
Melo.
yeah, but guarding Giannis, I don't.
Oh
see
no,
him.
that would be the dumbest thing you've ever seen in your entire life.
I'm sure a couple of possessions here and there. It's going to happen.
Maybe they'll get switched.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
That'll be fun. Who guarded him when we played the Knicks? It was Chris Stapps, right? Chris Stapps guarded
Yeah,
Giannis.
yeah.
That would have been dumb if anything else would have happened. So yeah, that's an interesting matchup.
Yeah, they got a couple of good players down in OKC.
Yeah. Terrible bench though. I was thinking about their bench the other day. Raymond Felton, Cameron. I like
Raymond Felton, but yeah,
I like him, but
I like a lot of
not
guys
as a second string. Yeah, I like Tyson Chandler. But
yeah. We love Mirza.
Right, we love Mirza. We were gonna do a deep dive. We'll have to save it for next week. Next episode, we're doing a deep dive on Mirza Teletovic. We will go deep in depth on it. I plan on doing it tonight. Damn it, we should have prepared. That was stupid. Next episode, at 1 a.m. when we record it, deep dive on Mirza Teletovic. But
for now,
bench on the Thunder,
who,
bad. Starters, very good.
Oh, solid, very good.
Because it's similar to us. We have a pretty poor bench as well.
Inconsistent bench.
Yeah, it's a fair point. Look forward to that. We'll have another scheduled episode up on Wednesday after that game. Anything else you've been up to lately, John?
No, not too much. Good weekend.
Solid weekend. Didn't really have to do a whole lot of bucked up over the weekend, which was nice. Just
no,
Bucks for other stuff.
Bucks were off. Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
Right. All right.
Back at it Tuesday and Wednesday, back to back.
Tuesday, Wednesday. A shorter episode this time, for real this time. I know I say that like every episode, but this one is actually shorter.
Yeah,
so thank you.
We'll have to plan something for better on Wednesday.
So thank you for watching Bucked Up. I'm your host, Nick Schneider. That's your host, John Monk. That was Bucked Up. You can subscribe to the channel if you like the episode. You can like the video if you liked the video. You can comment if you want to have a conversation with us. You can tweet at us at @PE_Schneider at JohnMonk1. And you can go subscribe to our iTunes or Google Play or Audio Boom or SoundCloud or Pocket Cast.
A lot of options.
A lot of options. And if you do subscribe and you do like the show on those channels, make sure you leave a review. That would help us out a lot. And so until next time, let's get bucked up.
Go Bucks.